What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Payne. Welcome back to another Final Fantasy VII Evercrisis video. Alright guys, big day tomorrow. We have the crossover coming out. Everyone's excited, and if you're not, I don't know what to tell you. Either you're not a fan of Final Fantasy IX or you're just tired of the game. But for most of us, we are all very, very excited about the drop that's happening, which is the crossover for Final Fantasy IX and Final Fantasy VII Evercrisis, right? So a couple things I want to talk about though before I get into the actual video tomorrow when this drops. I've been having a lot of rumblings here. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to be doing some summons here with my free-to-play account about people dropping the game. A lot of people dropping the games. A lot of whales, as a matter of fact, quitting. And I want to kind of address this because I think some people wanted me to kind of talk about the situation and some of the quality of life issues that the game has, which I want to be frank here. This is not a knock on the game. I love this game. I think this is one of the friendliest free-to-play games out there. It's not perfect, right? Let's be real. Let's not simp out on this. It's not a perfect game, but it definitely does hit a lot of positive markers with a very communicative dev team, a very good dev team that listens to their community, as well as the fact that they implement things that are better for the game without having fear of the repercussions of what people will say. And I have to admit that. They're a very active developmental team, and I love that about them, and you can't take that away from them ever, okay? So that's number one. Number two, I have to say this is one of the best communities I've been a part of. I have had experiences with the community in the beginning where it was a little bit more toxic and negative, but I feel like those people have kind of been weeded out, only because I know for a fact, that was a horrible pull, for a fact that those people are just like honeymoon gamers, right? The people who cared about the game stuck around, which I'm really happy about. And these are the kind of folks I'm talking about, are the ones who actually care about the game and supported the game and still continue to play. And those who have just recently quit, you're still part of that conversation. So what's the point of this video? Well, the point is there is some things that need to be done to minimize the amount of people leaving. Okay? Simply this. Three things that need to occur. Number one, they need to implement a better AI battle system. This is a hard one, of course. I was going to say this is one that everyone talks about. So what I mean by this is, for example, when you're playing manual mode, right, and the AI is kind of standing around, sometimes doing nothing and building up the ATB bar, and other times they're just casting things you don't want them to cast. This is a hard situation, and I know a lot of people have complained about it, and they asked me to bring it up, so I'm bringing it up. To me personally, I think the AI is decent for the way the game functions. Wow, this is a bad pull as well. It could that's not bad actually. Got one 5-star. It could definitely, it's not bad, but it could definitely be better. And here's how it's not bad. If you play manual, for example, right, the AI will do, on offensive mode, will do any form of, hey, I got a serpent here. Will do any form of DPS that is elemental weakness to the opponent. That's just how you build the AI. When you build your team, it's going to do that no matter what, right? So keep that in mind. It's how you build your team. So for example, with Iron Giant, a lot of people are upset that it casts water spells when you don't want it to, because you want it to do like an attack down or something. Well, you have to switch back and forth a lot of the times, right, to make that happen yourself. And a lot of people, it just drives them crazy. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is, right? To me, I think it's as good as it can get right now with the way the system is built. But it does definitely need some work. So the only way to mitigate that really is you have to set up your party with certain materia or certain skills that you don't want to be used, or you do want to be used, or you're going to have to use those party members manually, right? Problem number one. I think that's a hard one to solve, guys. No offense, but I'm going to bring it up because a lot of people think the AI isn't as good as it should be. So let me know in the comment section if you agree with that, if you've had the same experience where they just performing lackluster, or if you've had good experience, and let me know what it is that you did, because I'm curious. Number two, this one's an important one. There are two different kinds of gamers, okay? There's ones that have hundreds of stamina pots in their inventory, and there are ones who just don't have any stamina pots left. There's no middle ground here. And there's a couple of reasons why this is happening. There are a lot of third-party items being used, applications being used, auto clickers, for example, right? That's helping a lot of people beat content and grind content because this game is extremely, extremely grindy, right? And for those who say, well, Final Fantasy shouldn't be this grindy, well, you're kind of wrong in that because any Final Fantasy game you play, I mean, at least I've ever played, I've always sat for hours, grinded levels, equipment, materia, stealing things from mobs, etc., right? And then I moved on to make content easier. This is really no different in that regard. But the one thing this game does poorly is allow you to grind efficiently. And there should be no reason it forces people to use third-party applications. Instead, this has been a shit summon, by the way. Instead, they should be building in some sort of auto-skip battle system. Okay? We know what the highest score is for... Like, the game can recognize the highest score for you. Because I know this because when you get a higher score, it says new record, right? The game keeps track of all this. So, kind of like, I'm going to use Reverse 1999 right now because I'm currently covering that game as well. The way its auto system works is it takes a snapshot of your best performance, lets you save it, and then every time you auto battle, it'll just reperform that X amount of times. My God, this has been so bad, guys. Like, really, really bad. I kind of wish I wasn't doing this. That's the kind of thing this game needs to introduce. The fact that somebody has to sit here for hours and manually press the play button or the retry button is crazy. That's an expectation that should not be set on your player base. Everybody who plays this game should be able to press a button, walk away, and then choose the amount of times they want to do auto battle. Doesn't have to skip the auto battle, just let it run in the background. So meet us halfway. I think that one is super, super important. Okay? And I know this one is a touchy subject for a lot of folks, so I think it deserves to be brought up as well too. 3, costumes, right? If they don't plan to bring back these costumes that have already existed, Marasame garb, sailor outfit, you name it, right? Whatever these outfits are. If they never bring them back, I think that's a big mistake. And if they do bring them back, the second mistake you can make is making those people who were summoning for those have to restart from the stamp system. They should be left off where they are, in my opinion. Okay, so I think that's an important one for me personally. I think that people shouldn't be penalized for missing for 1 or 2 stamps, even if they save for months, and they just had really bad luck. If you plan to bring them back, please allow people to restart where they left off rather than them restarting right from the beginning. I think that's a pretty big one. Or, like I've been saying from day one, just put those garbs, the old garbs, into the gear voucher system. Allow us to get gear vouchers once a month, or people can buy them more, and then to be able to get the old gear from there, right? And what I'm talking about here, guys, is this. The exchange shop, there's a gear voucher section, gear exchange. Is it gear exchange? Yeah, this one, right? They should be technically placed in here, right? I mean, we've only given one for free so far, and I've chosen this. We've never got one since then. So I'm hoping in the future they get added somewhere here. I think it's an easy solution, and I think people deserve to be able to get it even if they missed out, like, in the future. So it doesn't have to be right away. It could be like really, really far down the line. And then the last one I want to talk about, actually maybe the last 2 I want to talk about. First off, the daily, right? If I go to home solo content and then the mercenary request, you guys know how this is. This is the one I'm talking about here that gives us the items to collect more weapon shards of our choice. I made a whole video about it, how you can choose the ones you want by clicking that button. Well, it pops up once a week. It should be popping up once every 3 days. I mean, we're getting up to 10 blueprint for random weapons of our choosing. So I can get 1 of an item. Sometimes I can get 10 of it. It just does take quite some time. Now, I'm not saying I think it's a great feature because you can combine it with blueprints and level up weapons faster. But I think having it a little more frequently would be a nice thing for the community as well, and support your pay-to-win and free-to-play players this way in a massive way. And then lastly, I think this one's very important, guys. Before the next big event, story mode needs to come out a little more often. I know it's supposed to be once a month, but I mean, come on, guys. Like, this is taking forever, right? We have so much story left, like insane amount of story still left. And a lot of us are just sitting here chomping at the bit to keep going on that. right? We have only up to chapter 3 for the main story. We have 1 chapter for Crisis Core, and we got 5 chapters for First Soldier. The game's been out for enough time now where we should have more chapters for these two specifically. This, I would love to see more of this because it's more about Sephiroth, more about the story we don't know about. But these here, I mean, it's pre-existing. Bring them out. Bring them out. It doesn't hurt you, doesn't hurt anybody else. And then lastly, on top of that, let's go back to something else that's story related, and that is dungeons. Crisis Dungeons should be resetting at some point. I think it's unfair to have these not reset at all. I know more will come out as the stories come out, but right now, like I said before, many people are sitting at 6 of 6 tickets with everything completed. I currently don't have everything completed, so I'm saving them purposely to get this done, to get more mithril ore, etc. when I need it. But a lot of people, guys, have completed this and are just sitting on tickets, just collecting dust. And like I said before, if you don't plan to reset this, allow us to trade these at least for stamina pots or some sort of resource. Doesn't matter what it is, but something instead of 6 of 6 sitting there. Because if you do this over again, you're not getting any of those prizes. You're getting grindstones and some gil, which nobody wants to spend that obscene amount of time doing for that because you can farm that way easier, right? So those are some quality of life features, guys, that I've been hearing about from the community, and they've asked me to bring it out. So before the next big update, I really hope some of these get addressed. If the devs are watching me, I know you guys do watch some content creators, so kudos to you guys, and thank you for listening to the community. I have nothing but love for this dev team. Let me know what else, guys, in the comment section. If there's anything else that I might have missed that's a major problem for you, let me know, let them know, and hopefully if this video gets enough hits, enough likes, it'll get out there and they can see more of these things. I know they have seen some of my videos and I've had some feedback already. So let me know what you guys think as well. It's very important, guys. Things like this make our game better. For those who plan to stick around for a long time, kudos to you. I do. For those who are quitting, I hope I see you back one day because I love this game so far. And I hope it does you right and you do come back and enjoy it again. And I know the crossover is going to bring some new bodies and some more people back. So very excited for that. But I hope, again, some of these quality of life features do get addressed in the near future. All right, guys, this is Payne. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.